Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the Mars Tech session. So before we talk about what exactly Munstack and what are the technologies we learn in Munstack and how they are going to helpful for us to develop the web application. So before I get into that, so just some small quick intro about myself. I am Keshav. I have been working as a full stack developer around 9+ years, and I have been into different areas. Like when it comes to the server side development, I have been into Java, Node.js as technologies, and of course the frameworks like I'm into Spring, and I worked on Express. Coming to the database technologies here, so I have been into different relational databases. I'm having pretty much experience in different relational databases, and as well as I'm into NoSQL databases as well. Exclusively, I'm into MongoDB. Coming to the UI for front-end development and front-end side applications and all. So I'm into JavaScript, and also I'm good at both Angular and react.js. So this is what some small intro about myself, guys. So without getting any delay, let's jump into the main topic, like what exactly the MUN stack. See, before we see what exactly the MUN stack, generally the applications, whatever may be the software applications we observe in systems are of two types. One is something like we can able to observe, like for example, calculator, or the thing which I am using now, that is notepad, or some media players will be there. So these are the examples of one category of software applications. In the same way, we do have another category of the applications. So that is, we have something like Gmail application, or something like IRCTC application, or something like we have something like Facebook application. So like this, we have few applications. So in these two things, if you look at this, in basic understanding, without getting much into the technicalities, we can say the running of these applications, we don't require anything like internet. Internet is not actually required for these applications to run. Whereas these applications, if you wanted to use that utility, definitely we need to use internet. But why exactly internet is required? Because that is very simple. These applications are usually called as standalone applications, whereas the second category are called web applications, or we call them as web-based applications. In that scenario, for standalone applications, at a time you require only one system. Just one system is enough. In that system, we will be installing certain software, whatever we wanted to use, that application we will be installing, and that system will be operating. That you install it once, and we'll be running it any number of times you want. Yes, we can able to run it. But when it comes to the second category of applications, at a times you must be in connect with two systems. So there will be a first system, and there will be something like a second system. The first system usually be called as a client system here, and the second one is called a server system. So for example, if you take Gmail application as the example, in your computer, you'll be opening the Gmail, right? So where you'll be doing, starting with something like browser, you'll be opening a browser there. You'll be entering the address of something like Gmail address, www.gmail.com. Then what happens, your server will be connected, but actually the server location is not at your premises. That will be somewhere else in the remote place, like example, maybe in the Google Office. But still you are able to access your data, your activities you can do. That is, for example, if you have you don't have account, what you will be doing, so you'll be clicking that sign up option over there, and where you'll be entering the first name, last name, and your basic details, phone number, date of birth, etc., right? And then you'll be doing register activity. Then what happens, your data will be transferred from your client machine to the server machine. Then what exactly the server machine will do is, server machine will be taking the data whatever it is coming from the client, and if required it will be connecting to the database somewhere, like it will be connecting to the database, and inside the database it will be storing your data as a users table or something like users data it will be storing over there. And next is, that is what you did today. Assume like today you did that activity. And next one is, as you already have account, right? You no need to create account for the second time. You will be doing just a sign in activity, like login activity. There what you will be doing is, you will be entering your just username and password. Then what happened, the same username and password will be sent to the server. Then the server will be getting the data from your database. That is like, it has to check the data. Definitely it has to check the data whether whatever the data you are entering is correct or not. That is, for example, yesterday when you created, assume you created Sai as a username and 123 as a password. Today you entered with the login credential Sai and 321 as the password. Then what happens, your data will be taken into the server, and server will take the data and will get the data from the DB, and it compares the data. If both are not same, then what happens here is, server will be sending a error message to the client. Or if both are same, other case will be there. If both are same, then what happens is, here the server will be creating a home page, or some home page will be already existed. Server will be sending that home page back to the client. So this is what usually happens in the web application working structure, that whatever it's been sent from client to the server is always known as a request, and at the same time whatever it's been sent back from a server to the client is known as response. You take any application, any web application, that is nothing but a cycle of request and response. Okay, fine, but where exactly these words like Mearn stack and MER or React are going to be useful? So that is what we are going to discuss now. See, I'm telling, like from the client side, you will be entering your data in the form, and you will be clicking something like register. Then your data will be transferred to the server. Okay, over the network this will be transferred. To do that, you are connecting to the internet. Okay, that is fine. But once the data is entering into the server, I am telling you, like server will do the registration activity, and next time after registration it will send a response to the client like, your registration successfully finished. Some simple message it will be sending. And after some time, if you wanted to log in, then you'll be entering your credentials over there, and both your credentials will be compared in the server side whether they are correct or not. Then if they are correct, home page will be generated. If not, a error message will be generated, right? But I am telling these things are happening and generated, but how they will be happening by default? So definitely it is not possible, right? So there definitely should be some program should be there, or certain software should be there which should be handling such activities. So that software is known as server side software. So in order to develop such softwares, you require knowledge in any of these technologies. Not all, any of these fine. So you should be good at either Java, or you should be good at either Node.js or Python, or even if you're good at .NET is also fine. And using these technologies, people will be developing the server side programs or applications people will be developing. Then there is one very important point, that is like whenever we are dealing with any technology, there will be something like a framework will be used, associated always associated with that. That is, framework is not a programming language, but it is built on the top of any programming language. For example, say if you wanted to develop some server side development through Java technology, so developing it through pure Java technology will be taking some more time, and even the number of lines of code you have to write is also sometimes will be more. In order to avoid such, what we will use is something called a framework like Spring. It will be having certain recommendations and certain things to follow, rules and all. So if you can follow such, then what happens is the activities related to that Java development becomes easy for you as a programmer. The same case, the same thing works for the other technologies as well here. So if you're talking about the Node.js here, we will be using something like Express.js as a framework. The same way for Python, we use something like Django as a framework. For .NET Core, ASP data, something like that. Yeah, things will be there here. So now, so this is about completely your server side, and whatever we write on the server side, whatever the development we do on the server side, in the industry, it is known as backend development, guys. And people, whoever is working for that backend development, are known as backend developers. And along with the database, one database will be there. Along with the database, that activity will be performed over there. Now, coming to this side, okay, I am telling like once your data is passed into the server, these are the things happens. But first, when you open your like gmail.com or whatever any web application, you can't see what Java language they have written or what database they are connected, and in what way they are comparing your data, and all such things you cannot see. You're not allowed to see. What you can see, you can only see like a home page or a sign up page or a login page or a contact page, right? These things only we can able to see. So that is nothing but it is like a client side software, something. Or in other words, I can say it is simply a website. So if you wanted to work with any web application, we need to develop two things for that. So one is the website we need to develop for the client side, and to store the data and to do the data management and application activities or business logic to implement, we need to write some code to the server side. That is like server side software. When it comes to this website at client side, so website is nothing but that is very simple here. It's a collection of web pages. So what exactly a website will be containing? If you open any website, for example, Gmail or whatever it is, what it will contain? It will contain different web pages will be there. So if one knows how to create web pages, then it is nothing but creation of the website over there. So in order to do such things here, and the guys whoever is responsible for creating this website and all, we actually call them as front end developers. In the industry we call them as front end developers, because these are the things which can be seen, and the back end things cannot be seen. That's why we call this development is the front end development. At the same time, the developers are the people, the engineers who are working for that are known as front end developers. And the guys whoever knows these two things, like both front end and back end development, are known as full stack developers. So in the industry earlier, it is okay to have only one side, like either front end side, if you're fine, or if you're good at the back end side, that is also good. But nowadays the companies are encouraging their employees to learn the other side as well. For example, if you are a back end developer, the companies are asking you to learn any front end technology, or if you're already into front end, people are asking them to learn any of the back end technology. I can say they're asking, or they're encouraging, rather I can say they are even forcing them to do. So that is what full stack development is about. So there are different full stacks. In that we have something called Mearn stack. So what exactly this Mearn stack, now we will talk. So as I told you, at the client side, you need to develop the web pages or websites, and website is nothing but a collection of web pages. So integrating all the web pages together is nothing but the a website here. But in order to do that, we need certain technologies. So server side, to implement, we have used Java and all right. In the same way, front end side, if you wanted to implement something, we need to take the help of certain technologies here. Server side, you know either Java or Node or Python enough, but this side, if you wanted to develop, you should be good at few technologies. That is, you have to be good at HTML, and you have to be good at CSS, and as well as you have to be good at a technology called JavaScript. So here, when it comes to the HTML is actually, see, we have three technologies. Means definitely these three will have its own part in the development of the web pages and subsequently the website. That is, HTML is responsible actually for the adding the content to your web page, for the development of the web page. In that, the role is adding the content to the page. For example, if you open any web page, you see text and you see something like images, and also all such things would be added with the help of HTML. And next is CSS, the same text, same content, but you need some what we call some stylings for the same. So if you wanted to apply such stylings, we use something called CSS. So both HTML and CSS are easy to learn. That is it's a tag based language. HTML is where if you wanted to add some paragraphs, you'll be using a certain tag. If you wanted to add some image, you'll be using one specific tag. Like that, it will be there. When it comes to the CSS, here you'll be using something called property based. So style properties will be there. To change the text color, one kind of style will be there, and to change the uh, text size, text color, one kind of property. To change the background color, one kind of property. So if you learn property names, that is enough. But the other one is there something called JavaScript. It's actually a programming language like your Java. It is also a programming language, but mostly used at front end side. HTML using CSS, you can create static web pages only. Okay, the content is not much interactive. That user cannot interact with your web page if you develop only through the HTML and CSS. So you need to add some dynamic nature into your web pages, obviously, right? And such things are not possible with HTML. So we take the help of the JavaScript. And in order to perform some validations as well, we take the help of the JavaScript. Now, as I told you, HTML, CSS are simple tag based and all, but whereas this JavaScript is a programming language, right? Like your Java and all, in order to develop something, we take the help of the something like supporter like framework. The same way, front end side also, for JavaScript we have few frameworks like you can use either Angular, or you can use something like a React, or people call it as react.js. Yeah. So now whoever wants to learn full stack development, so they need to learn HTML, CSS. These are some basics they'll be knowing. People can learn, and your main concentration should be on JavaScript. You should have some good expertise in JavaScript or some basic skills. You need to develop the main core JavaScript, and then you can learn either React or Angular at the front end. So coming to the back end side, the technology wise, you can learn any of the technology. And coming to the DBs, like databases, there are different databases will be available. Like the style I'm talking, you will be having something like a relational style will be there, and in that you'll be having something like MySQL or Oracle DB, SQL Server, like that DB2, like that you'll be having different databases over there. So you can use any relational database here, and that is one style. Another, other than that, you have another style of database also, that is NoSQL style database, where the data, or the structure of the table is not a proper format. Like the data is like unstructured data will be there. Still we are developing some website or web application to store such data also. For example, if you take any social media application like Facebook, and I'll assume posts are happening. So today you can make a post with uh, one heading and one text, like some description, heading and description. Tomorrow the same kind of thing, post you will make with one heading and one paragraph and one photo, one picture, right? On image. And next day you'll be doing your posting only with heading and picture. Next day you'll be doing your posting only with the picture. Next day you'll be doing your post with the picture and description. Next day you'll be doing your post with one video. Next day you'll be doing post with one video and one picture. Understand? So where the thing is like entities post only that, but the data is not in a structured format. It's like an unstructured format. So in order to support such things from the database level, there is a technology, or I can say like style, like NoSQL style. In that we have a database like MongoDB. This is one of the most popular database, and in our course and in our implementation, we are going to use this database only. So coming to the technologies which we are going to learn now. So as of now, I hope you guys got what is full stack development is, what is front end development, what is back end development, and the different technologies involved in these developments, right? And now we are going to see what exactly the things we are going to learn in our particular course, like that is like Mearn stack or whatever it is. Now, so front end side, you will be learning something like React.js or React as a the main technology. Coming to the backend side, here we are sticking to a technology called Node.js, because if you guys already know JavaScript, it will be easy to develop something in the React.js, and as well as the same JavaScript can be used, that knowledge can be used for the backend Node.js development also here. And while you are learning the Node.js here, along with the Node.js, you will be learning the framework associated with that Node.js, that is like Express.js. And coming to the database, as we discussed just a minute ago, like we will be using a NoSQL style database, that is a popular one, MongoDB database. So these are the technologies which we are going to learn in our course. So we are learning the front end side technology and as well as the server side along with the database. That's the reason this is completely a full stack package. But this full stack package is coming with these specific technologies, right? Generally, this is a full stack only, but people usually call it with a special name, something like Mearn full stack, or people call it as Mearn stack. Mearn stack or Mearn full stack it is. So in that, what you will be having is M stands for MongoDB, E is nothing but Express, React, R for React, and N for Node.js. So this is the course, guys, and the technologies what you are going to learn, and how your journey of the course would be here. So I just wanted to tell you that is first we'll be starting with the React here. Every like very common basic things. We'll be starting from the scratch. Everything how to set up everything will be learning here. So you no need to worry about anything with respect to that. So everything will be starting from the scratch here. And next is, once we are done with React, once we are completely done with the React, then we will be starting something like Node.js. But before we enter into the Node.js, once we are done with React, when I feel like we are finished with the React concepts, then we will be starting developing a project in the React. Complete project, a front end side project will be developing in the React. So that will be your first project in your application. Then once we are done with that project and its development, then what we'll be doing is we'll be starting with a Node.js, and using Node.js and Express and using MongoDB, we'll be creating a pure backend development. Backend project will be creating, and once we are done with that backend project, then we'll be testing that backend project, and one project with React first project, and then pure backend project with Node and MongoDB Express. Then at the end, we'll be clubbing that whatever the backend project is there. For that, we'll create one React front end, and we'll be clubbing them, and we'll be creating a complete web application using these technologies. So that will be the third project. So minimum of 3 projects, live projects, we'll be doing in our course. Clear? And the sessions will be like more interactive sessions, and every day you'll be having the live session will be there, guys. And once the session is finished, and the same session will be recorded, and the same one will be posted in a portal. We have a portal, in that it will be posted, and you will be able to access to you'll be getting the access to that portal, where with your mail ID they'll be giving you the access, and you can able to access those videos at any time during the course, and not only during the course, and even after finishing the course as well, you are allowed to access those videos for certain amount of months. I don't know that number, but you'll be allowed to. Okay, so this is about what exactly the course is about, and what are the technologies you are going to learn in this, and what are the different things we are going to see. So coming to the React.js, so exclusively React.js, and why we need to go with the React.js, and what are the advantages associated with the React.js and such things. Just now we are going to see. So just as a slides, we are going to understand what exactly React. Some brief about React.js. Already we learned what is React, but little bit of insights we are going to see with respect to React. And this is an official logo of React. So as we discussed already, it's like an library file for your JavaScript, and it is mainly used to build a single page application. So you know the meaning of single page application. That is, if you take normal HTML where you have to write for login, you have to create one page, for sign up, you have to create one page, for contact, you have to create one page, for about us, you have to create one page. So different things will be there. But when it comes to this React, using this, you can create a single page application. What is that and all? How we are going to see in our course. Next is, it's an open source library, and it's a front end side and JavaScript, and it's developed by a people, of a few people at Facebook. They developed it, and earlier it was maintained by Facebook. And initially, John Walke and one software engineer at React, who worked at Facebook, developed this. But initially, he developed it for the purpose is different. Like in Facebook, you have a feed, right? For Facebook news feed, he developed it, and with other name called Fax.js, and the same one worked well. And in the 2011 they started, and the same thing they incorporated into their other venture, like Instagram, other application. So that is also there. Also this seen, like it worked fine, and later they came to know the importance of the open source technologies. They made it open source in the year of 2013 at some in some month, yeah. And then what happens, people around the world started using that React. Now why React? And we should know, right, why exactly React. So there are few advantages if you go with the React. That is, the development process will be faster compared to your basic normal JavaScript development, and it has a rich JavaScript library. So it has so many things inbuilt, and you can use them. So many things like, and the maintainability of the code, and the structure of files, and would be easy in React.js application compared to your bare or pure JavaScript application. Next is the data binding is also a fine. The data binding is also a very fine activity over there, and it's a cross-platform development. So once you develop it in any what I can say, like OS, the same can be used in any other OS, like Mac to Windows or Linux or anything is fine. And even class platform is not only for the OS, and even for the browsers as well. If you check your React application in the Chrome, it definitely works in other browser as well. Next is, it's an SEO friendly, and speed obviously will be more, and it's a declarative. What is that? We'll see in the sessions, and it has great developer tools. And so learning is also very easy. Why? Because the main focus is on UI, not on the backend development. So, and it's an easy to adaptable. So the style of that is very easy, and everything in React is considered to be the components. Like if you take any example like application, instead of having different web pages, here we will be having different components. We call it as a component based architecture here, that will be following that. And here it will be like your different components. So all these things together is gives you what we call like a complete application. So instead of web pages, you'll be multiple web pages. You'll be having a multiple components here. Like menu component, you'll be having a menu bar, like navigation bar. You can have search and contact, whatever it is, but different things. And there are certain things which are very important aspects with respect to fundamental things of React. these things, how to create components, and the virtual DOM is what, how to render them, and what is JSX and what is the syntax of JSX, states, props, how to deal with them, and such things will be learning, and forms, how to implement routing, and how to add stylings also to your web page, and using React we can learn. And there are some additional advanced concepts are there in the React, that is like, list and keys, and how to apply the filters in React, and what is the meaning of hook methods, what are the hooks, and how they are going to help React, and what is context API, what is it. So these things you're going to learn uh, as part of your, and at the end, the entire React application will be connecting to the backend APIs, whatever it has been created by us, and also we'll be connecting it to some free APIs available in the world. So that also will connect, and we'll create anyhow. We'll be learning Node, right? Then we'll be creating our own backend API. That also will be connecting over there. So that's it, guys. So that's it from my side with respect to the demonstration, and I hope you guys are clear with this. Still, if you're having any doubts regarding this, what are the
Yeah,
technologies or what?
actually, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Can I ask your name, sorry? Uh,
Kesho. I'm Kesho Asper.
Keshav. Okay. Hi, Keshav.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would like to know that you teach every section of back end, front end, and DB to every person, or this is the different package course.
No, the thing is like, if you wanted to learn only React, you can learn. Or even if you wanted to learn the backend also, together also you can learn. First, I will be starting with the React. So once that is done, then you'll be having the backend. So if you wanted to learn only the front end, you can stop at only React if you wish.
Okay, so that means these all is covered by only you or other person here. So are the other tutors also available out there?
No. I will be dealing as I'm into full stack development. So I will be dealing
You
with
are
the both.
okay. You are a full stack developer. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I would like to know that what you cover in React actually. That means uh, this is a library. So actually, I'm using the library of Material UI.
Mhm.
So can you cover? Are you cover that? Actually, I have some problem in English, so please understand. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, fine.
yeah. So you cover. Can I speak in Hindi if you don't mind?
No,
You
no
understand?
problem. You can. Your English, I am able to understand. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So you come, and that means in my project I'm working on React. Okay. So in my project I'm using library. That means Material UI.
Mhm.
Okay. So how we integrate that library? The problem with me that I'm not able to actually connect with that. Actually, not connect with React properly, like making interface in different component section. That means in
Okay, I
service
got
layer.
your point. So what we'll be discussing is here how to add other libraries into your application, React application. That part we'll be discussing. Even this React, even Material UI also we'll be discussing. But we'll not add all the things which are there in the Material UI. Just we'll be discussing like how we have to add that one, how we have to add the third-party library into our React application, how we are going to integrate it, how we are going to use it, those services and all. Such things we'll be discussing.
Okay. And after class, how can you manage the support? Actually, in practice, I need support of you and any. So how you
So
manage it?
the
Is yeah.
so the thing is like whatever you are having problems in while you are doing some practice and all, you can make a note of them, all of them, and in the next session you can ask. You are always allowed to ask. You can even share. I will allow you.
Every time you will not available, uh, not available at so any particular time for that support. If
No. The thing is like as I'm into real time now, so I will be having the development activities, and I'll be involved with that. Right? So I will be giving you my mail and all, but you may not get immediate reply. So I'll be maybe busy in that. So, but immediately in the next session, you can ask, and I will be allowing you to share your screen as well, and everything will be discussing in the class. No problem.
Okay. 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 Thank you, Kishore.
May I
Okay.
ask you something? Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Ishita. Hi.
So you will be teaching React, right? You'll not be taking Angular,
No, no, I'll be teaching React in this course. I will be teaching the React.
React. What about HTML and CSS basic? You will be handling, or you will be directly starting with React only.
So mostly I'll be starting with React. So for this another batch usually be there like full stack development. The batch name will be like complete full stack development, not like Mun stack or React development. There I'll be starting from the HTML. Or if you are already fine with those technologies, I assume like people who starts React will be good with HTML. In that way, I'll be starting.
Fine. If
Uh,
I'm learning React, will I be able to easily understand Angular also?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
But the style will be different, but what I can say, like how to implement a front end side framework and other things will be understand. And same, what is front single page application, such things you can understand.
programming will be based on Java or Python?
No, no, no.
Java.
You will be having JavaScript. On JavaScript is a
Java.
one of the languages. That language only will be using. We no need to
Okay.
switch between other languages. Only JavaScript. One language is enough for front end and both back end. Yeah.
In Angular, they are calling it as TypeScript, right?
Yes,
Uh,
yes. The next level, like earlier they used to write in JavaScript. Later they converted into TypeScript.
is it there in React also?
No, no, no. We'll be doing with the JavaScript. But if
Okay.
you know JavaScript, you can learn TypeScript. That is just like next version for your JavaScript
You are
kind of.
using TypeScript in that. Okay. And what is the duration for this all complete course for React?
So it would be a total of 1.5 month will be there, the sessions.
One and
1.5 month total sessions.
is it sufficient for React?
Yes, yes. Because
Okay.
you'll be doing everything practical, it will be sufficient.
And daily classes for 1 hour, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It will be, you'll be practicing daily. I'll be giving you some assignments and you'll be doing with that assignments and everything will be learning practically, so you can do it.
Actually, I thought of learning Angular.
Hmm.
That's what I'm confused. What?
Means, do you have any requirement for Angular or you just wanted to learn Angular?
I personally felt that Angular jobs with Angular are more compared to uh, any other.
No, no, nowadays, the React popularity has been increased with actually, you can search for it. You do some your R&D from your end as well. So nowadays the React is more. You can
In
check that.
Visualpath, Angular course is also there. Is there any course for Angular?
Uh, yeah, it may take some time
Okay.
for Angular to start. But you do your research, okay, Ishita. Actually, these days
I
the
have already started the research. I have started doing projects with Angular.
Mhm.
All of a sudden now, once again, if I'm starting with React, I feel once again I need to start from the beginning, right?
Mhm.
That's what. Okay. Anyway, I'll look into the content and get back.
Okay then, okay, yeah, no problem.
Um, so, is it over? We can leave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The demo is over. Yeah.
Okay. Sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay then. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, then. Yeah. Bye, guys.